Hello, Sim here. So this is going to be a follow-up review to my Scuf controller that I did about a year or so ago, just before Advanced Warfare came out, even though I've got a little control freak here that's got a ghost symbol on it. And if you're wondering what control freaks are, go and check out my other review that I did, and there should be a little eye that pops up on the screen for you on the tablets, mobiles and PCs. So, cool. Okay, so what about this particular controller? What do I think about it a year or so later down the line? Because this was, if you saw my original review, a fully tripped out one. I had no idea what Advanced Warfare the button configuration was going to be, so I went for a 4-paddle version. So I had all the paddles relate to the X, Y, B and A. And I had a little like a magnet type thing that you could put right here on this symbol here, if I can see it in the light. I'll try and get it. There you go. So right there, you put it about there, and you would then hold down a paddle, press your corresponding little button of interest here, and hey presto, that paddle would map to that. And that cost me around, I say around 150, 180 pounds, because I also had the blue custom light, because I didn't want a bright white light from the standard Xbox One controller. If you're gaming in a dark room, it was really bright and I didn't like it. So, how do I think about this controller? What do I think about this controller a year down the line? And unfortunately, I had some experiences that I wouldn't say I was too happy with, considering the amount of money I spent on this controller. Predominant issues I was having was regarding the right trigger, or that area. So I've got traditional trigger stops on these things, which means it goes down a short distance, that is it. But what was happening, I'd be shooting on this trigger, and you've got the top bumper here, and effectively I'd be pressing this, and internally it says I just pressed that and it would throw a grenade. And it happened to me on quite a few occasions, and some of you guys are going, it's probably just a one-off, and that was what I was hoping. But unfortunately, quite a few of my other mates in the clan who also had a Scuf controller, a Scuf One, because this is an Xbox version, also had the same issue. So they've obviously got some sort of design fault associated with the Xbox One, or should we say a longevity issue associated with the components they've chosen to modify internally, or the way they've done it. Because really it is a bog standard controller, and then they put a custom skin on it. You can see it here as this blue skin, and so I was pretty disappointed about that. Now another problem that I was having, I was really experiencing this in Advanced Warfare than anything other, because I was wanting to jump a lot, and you'll be able to hear clicks. And you hear that one. Nah, that one ain't going to do. And of course that was mapped to my jump, because this one here would be typically mapped to B, although I have the option on this one to remap it so that the paddle that does click more, this one which is mapped to B, would work. But it's like, this is really going, and I'd really have to press it hard, and I'd have to press it hard further up here. So that was another thing against it for me. I was very disappointed that you just can't hear any clicks. You hear these clicks nicely, but this one, it's sort of packed in. And you'd have to press it quite firmly up here, and that was confirmed when I was playing the beta for Black Ops 3. And I really had to press it further up, higher up, to get it to actually register the click. So yeah, disappointing, unfortunately. So I want to take off the control freaks, because I want to show something else. I've not had this on my other Scuf controller, and I'll show that briefly in a minute. So here, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to try and rotate it around in the light so the light shines up. You can see this like circular indentation here. Let's see. There you go. I think you just about see it. Trying to angle this right and looking at the camera at the same time is all fun. But I think there you go. That sort of quite nicely shows it there. You can see it right there. So basically, you might think, Scuf controllers made this indent, but no, actually, it's the Xbox thumbstick itself that's made this indent. And the problem is, and it's just demonstrated itself. There you go, a stuck thumbstick. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this easily, even though this is in 4K, because it's hard to get the angle and the lighting right. But basically, and you may be able to see this, and you may not be able to see this. You can see the circuit board underneath, because it gets that stuck. And Trying to hold this without with the light getting under there. I'll see if I can insert a couple of photo shots. It may not work, but you can just, I think you can just about see it there. You can see the dark, you can see where it is. You can see this is the edge right there, and you can see the gap between that and this peripheral. So basically it's come up and it stopped, and that's caused me grief, so it's causing sticking. So really I've been pretty disappointed with the quality of something that's like £180. And it's, you know, and I don't have the opportunity to game on every day. I'm just not an everyday gamer. Now, the other thing, and this is a common issue that I've experienced with a Scuf controller, and I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this. And again, it all depends on the light. Basically, it sort of indents, it cuts, the plastic here cuts into this, because it's effectively you've got like a second skin that's sitting on top, a very microfine skin. And it seems to cut straight into the, see if we can bring it closer, straight into it, and basically it cuts into the thumbstick. So it cuts into the side of the stick. Again, I'll see if I can do some close-up shots to overlay. So yeah, 1 year down the line, and a bit more than 1 year down the line, but I bought myself another controller, which I'll cover in another review. I was disappointed with the amount of money I invested in this one, so I wanted to give you guys my honest opinion on it. If you were thinking about getting a Scuf controller, I'd only recommend going for a 2-paddle version. You really don't need a 4-paddle. I don't think they're ever going to go for a 4-paddle complex. This is from a first-person shooter perspective, i.e. COD. So yeah, that is my opinion of it. Unfortunately, I was a bit disappointed. Oh yeah, so I wanted to come over to the other controller. So you're thinking, Sim, you just had bad luck, you just got one bad controller. Now this is a PS3 controller that I had, and it was my first competitive gaming controller, and it also suffered similar issues. And if I can demonstrate it, there we go. But here, now what's not the issue is, no lifting up here, it's just purely that it is cut. Seriously cut into the plastic, and I don't know how the lighting is going to look. We'll have to see if we can boost it up or get some individual photo shots of it. But basically it's so severely cut into there that it just sits into this because of this second skin. And yeah, so it is a problem that I experienced, and this being the running button, or you know, thumbstick. You do your sprinting because you're pressing down and you're running forwards and all that stuff. Yeah, so plastic on plastic, with another sharp thin layer that you can't see. This is a much more finessed and glossy version compared to my Xbox, and I do like this design. But you know, at the end of the day, it's all functional, and that's what matters first. Durability. This particular one, the PS3 controller, lasted me ages, absolutely ages, years, no problem. Unfortunately, the Xbox One started packing in from the I'll throw a grenade once I press the trigger button, so trigger equaled grenade button on occasion. Not all the time, which means there's an intermittent electronic issue with the controller, just a defect within that. So yep, that's my honest views on it. I'm not sponsored by anything, so I just wanted to give you guys an update. So as always, I appreciate a thumbs up. It really does help my channel grow. If you're new here and you fancy staying in touch with my latest videos, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, this has been Sim.